We're joined now here on Corner 3, presented by Mech on the Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network by Iowa State point guard, one of the members of the freshman All Big 12 team. It's Tamin Lipsey. Tamin, appreciate you taking the time with us today and how things been going, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. I'm excited to be here. Things have been going good, off-season work. It's my first college off-season, just getting used to it. Just a lot of repetition and a lot of reps. Just getting back in the gym, staying in shape, little things like that. It's been going good.
What has this time been like with really only, I assume there's only a couple of you that are going through these workouts all the time. What's that been like with just a small group?
Yeah, it's definitely different. Gabe, Jaron, Shun, Jazz, they're still around, but they're not with us as much. So it's a little weird. But the guys that are coming back, we always get in the gym. We eat breakfast together. We still eat dinner together. Still spending all that time together, just like how we did in the season. So yeah, just seeing everyone get in the gym and just keep working on their game.
So we're going to kind of jump around here as we work our way through this. I've got a list of questions for you, but I want to start kind of at the beginning for you. Why basketball? You were a good football player. I know you were really good at track as well. Why was basketball the one for you, the one that you really were drawn to and wanted to stick with?
Um, Probably it was definitely between football and basketball. Um, I just felt like I could more of an impact on a basketball team. Uh, just it's a smaller team. Football, you got so many guys, and you all have your little things to do. But basketball is, to me, it's just so compact and a small group of guys that are together and lean on one another the whole time. I just wanted to be a part of that. My dad played college football, so I kind of wanted to go the basketball route. My older sisters all played basketball, so I was always around basketball. Uh, that's probably why I was drawn to it at such a young age.
What's your favorite thing about the game to this day?
Just competing, winning games is the most important and most fun thing for me. I don't really care about anything else but winning, and that's why TJ has me on this team, and that's what our culture is about.
After having some time now to kind of reflect on your freshman season, how do you feel that everything went?
I feel overall it went well. Not knowing what to expect coming into my freshman year, just coming in working hard and taking advantage of the opportunities that I was given. So being able to start all 33 games, I think it was, is amazing. Just looking back on that, that's probably pretty rare for a freshman, especially in the best conference of basketball. So yeah, just looking back, definitely a lot of things I can improve on. A lot of things I will learn on, and hopefully making big steps going into my sophomore year. But just yeah, looking back and just learning from all the experiences and just taking a step forward next year with being more of a leader.
You talked about coming into it not really knowing what to expect. What would you say was the biggest surprise of everything? What's the biggest thing that you maybe really weren't expecting about college basketball that came to fruition?
Um, I'd say probably starting. Not that I wasn't competing for that spot, but just coming in, being a young guy on a very old college team, a lot of guys with a lot of experience. Just probably, my goal was to come in and start, just to impact the team. So when I got the call that I was going to be starting, that meant a lot, and just being out there leading these guys on the court.
What are the emotions when you get that call? You get to Hilton Coliseum. You've got your jersey with your name on it for the first time. They call your name at Hilton Coliseum as a member of the starting lineup. What is that like for someone from Ames, Iowa, that grew up idolizing the Cyclones?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was super nervous. Uh, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I wasn't nervous at all because that would be a lie. I was. Obviously, it's just basketball, but it's a whole different stage than what I had played before. Obviously, I had been to many games in Hilton, so I knew what the atmosphere was going to be like. But it's totally different when you're on the court um, playing. So yeah, I was nervous, but I was more than that. I was just super excited and thankful that I was in that spot.
That first dribble, you're being a little bit extra careful not to dribble it off your foot, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely,
Oh,
definitely.
for sure. What do you think was the biggest adjustment from high school to playing in college? Because I think you were such a surprising player because of how smoothly I felt you made that adjustment. The speed of the game never seemed to be an issue for you. What do you feel was the biggest thing that, really there was a learning curve for it for you?
Probably the physicality. Um, Also going along with a little bit of the speed of the game, especially the type of game plan that we have, very defensively focused. You spend a lot of energy on defense, so being able to control my energy, last out there on the court and not waste it super quick. And then the physicality part, just being one of the smaller guys on the court, being able to take care of the ball, just going through that learning process of having to play off 2 feet or having to go slower sometimes, uh, not to get yourself in trouble by, jumping off 1 foot and getting a charge. I did that a few times early in the year, but I feel like as I got going through the year, I learned a lot about the pace of the game and how to control my body and just get to the right spot early.
And you talked before about the nerves of playing that first game and being, just in that experience. What's the what do you feel pressure playing in your hometown? Knowing obviously just coming from Ames, like there's going to be expectations. Everybody knows the comparisons that are going to be made coming from Ames High School. What or do you even feel that? Is that something that is just like you don't even notice it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's too much pressure. If anything, I probably put the most pressure on myself, just because of how competitive I am and how I want to be successful. But, outside noise, sometimes it gets to you, but for the most part, I try not to listen to it and just focus on the connective group that we have, the coaches, the players, everyone in our staff. Just focus on that and things will work out.
How did playing at Ames High for a program that has such high expectations and playing for a coach like Coach Downs, how'd that prepare you for the college level?
I think it definitely prepared me, just because he knew what it would take, having multiple college guys and NBA guys come that he had coached. Just learning whatever I could from him. He coached me for many years, obviously, so uh, he was a great coach. I loved playing under him, and I learned a lot from him.
Uh, Take me back to this year. The game against Kansas, I thought was one of the best games that you played at home. The game against Kansas at home, I thought was one of the best games that you played. I think you had 9 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds, almost with the triple double. What was it about that game, that atmosphere that allowed you to find success, especially against a really tough point guard matchup and DeJuan Harris on the other side?
Yeah, I feel like I always rise to the occasion whenever it's a game like that. Obviously, it was Kansas, and I've known just growing up that that's always a big game. And I'm pretty sure I was coming off one of my worst games of the year, so just wanted to bounce back from that. Most importantly, get the win. But I knew the atmosphere was going to be crazy. Our team was definitely ready for that game, as it definitely showed. But just to go out there and do whatever I had to do to win. I think Bill Self said that their game plan was to stop me from getting rebounds, but um, obviously I did pretty good at getting rebounds that game. So I just do whatever I can. Whenever I see the ball, I try to get it. I try to set up my teammates and then score whenever I can. So that game was definitely one of my best games. It was probably one of the most fun. Just the atmosphere in Hilton is always crazy, especially when you got Kansas or Texas. So uh, looking back on that game, it was a good one.
I think after I can't remember if it was that game or if it was the one down in Lawrence. I think he said that you're the best offensive rebounding point guard that he'd ever seen.
Yeah, yeah.
What is it when? What's the feeling when a guy like that, who's obviously a Hall of Fame coach, has seen a lot of really great players, when he's giving you compliments of that stature?
Yeah, it's definitely cool. But I just it's not I'm not a great rebounder, I would say, because I can't jump up and get the ball at the height that most of the players can. I think I just have that knack for the ball, and uh, I'm always going to put 100% effort into getting it, and that's probably where I get that little edge from and rebounding. So yeah.
On the nights that you struggled throughout the year, did you feel like there was a common theme in those kinds of games? And is that kind of how you're approaching this offseason of trying to, some of those things that you recognize maybe that it's like I have to be able to make adjustments to this from how teams approached me and as they got film on you and were able to scout you more.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely a lot of things I can work on this off season and improve on. One of those just being I wasn't really looking to score a lot. That's what sometimes got me in trouble. I was playing a little too passive, and then that sort of made to me being in my head and making plays that I don't normally make, which would result in turnovers. So just not being in my head, just going out there and playing and attacking first. So looking to improve on my offensive game a lot this next year. So working on that a lot, getting shots up every day, mid range, getting to the rim, and then catch and shoot. Obviously, threes are a big part that I'm working on. Um, I heard a lot about that over this season, which got a little annoying, but it's part of it. Obviously, I wasn't shooting them and wasn't shooting them very well, so that's something I'm going to work on a lot.
How much of that is mentality? When I watch you play, I don't see you being a guy that catches the ball thinking you're going to shoot it very often. Like I see you looking ready to make a play for somebody else, and it's not like you immediately have that trigger in your mind of like, oh, I'm going to catch the ball and I'm going to shoot the ball. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's definitely adjustment. Growing up, I was always a pass first guy. I wasn't the main scorer on the team, so that sort of goes into that with confidence and just the mentality of scoring. But definitely looking to be more of a scorer for this team. I think we're bringing in a lot of guys that can score the ball, so it's going to be hard for teams to match up against us if I can be one of those scorers too. So obviously, I'm not going to take away the other parts of my game, which is setting up others and just being the general on the team, but definitely improving the offensive attack.
You mentioned, coming in and being part of a veteran team last year. This team next year is going to be kind of the opposite, going to be a lot younger. And I mean, you're only a sophomore, but you'll be one of the veterans, especially one of the few guys that's coming back into this program. I mean, are you looking forward to stepping into that leadership role now that you've got a year under your belt and kind of be, that true floor general that's really, leading everybody?
Yeah, definitely. I think I learned a lot from Gabe and Jaron and Shun and all the older guys on the team. I think they taught me a lot about leadership and just things like that. So I think I'm ready to take that next step, even though I'm only a sophomore. I don't think that really matters. Obviously, being a point guard, you have to be a leader. So just improving on every aspect of leading, if that's lead by example or lead by talking or just anything. Just I'm definitely looking forward to taking that next step and just helping the guys on the team.
What do you think of these transfers that are coming in? I talked to, I think it was Jackson who told me did he stay with you when he came on his visit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. He told me that you guys had formed a little bit of a bond. What was it like meeting all of those guys? What do they bring to the table? How do you feel like they're going to fit in with this group next year?
Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. TJ did a great job in going and getting the guys that he wanted. I think they're going to fit well with our program and the culture that we're building. They're guys that are going to work hard, do whatever it needs to be done to win. I think that's the main point. TJ just wants winners. He wants dudes that are going to come in here and compete. So, but besides that, they're all very gifted offensively. So I think that will help us a lot next year, scoring the ball, and then defensively they all have that knack too. So I'd say they all can handle the ball well, so that'll take some pressure off of me. I know this last year I was sort of the main point guard, I would say. Obviously, Jaron handled the ball also too, but with Jeremiah getting hurt, it made it more pressure on us to handle the ball. Didn't have a lot of guards that could do that. So next year, just looking to have other guys that can step up and handle the ball and not just have one person that has to run things. So just being able to play with pace and attack offensively. I think that's what we're looking for.
How much are you looking forward to seeing Jeremiah get back out there? It's been a long time for him now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I know he is. He's working hard every day. I see him in the gym every day, and then doing his rehab and recovery and lifting. He's definitely been working super hard, so he deserves to be out there. And I can't wait for him to get back out.
What do you think of this group of freshmen that's coming in, especially Omaha? Obviously, you know his game well with him coming from the state of Iowa as well. What do you see from those guys, and what's it going to be like? Welcoming in obviously highly touted group. That's coming in here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. Just me being a sophomore, but having 1 year under my belt, I'll be able to help them in any way that I can with that adjustment from high school to college. So, um, yeah, Omaha is very gifted physically and athletically, so that will help him a lot just with the transition. Uh, he's a great scorer. He can finish down low. He can shoot. He can defend really well, block shots. So he got it all. So we're just going to help him with that transition, and I think he'll be great. So definitely the other guys just coming in and working hard, learning a lot will help, and then just competing. That's how you earn your spot and earn the respect of everyone, is just to come in here and compete. So I know that they're going to do that. I met them multiple times on their visits. I know what kind of guys they are. So um, we're going to compete every day, and I'm looking forward to getting those freshmen in here.
All right, my last couple ones here for you. Tell me just about your relationship with TJ. What's it like?
We got that point guard and head coach relationship. So you know what that means. I'm sort of the coach on the court. So he puts all his trust in me, and it goes both ways. And that means a lot to me. And we meet often, weekly, just about how things are going, and things that we see and things for the future. So yeah, just he's a great guy. He's not super intense like people see sometimes, so he can be relaxing and just have conversations. And even if it's not about basketball, he'll be there to talk. So when your head coach is willing to do whatever you need as a player, but also just as a man, it shows a lot about his character and obviously this program and the culture that we have. So just building that from my freshman year, and now just going into the sophomore year, it's going to be even stronger. Our minds are going to be on the same page, and we can definitely bounce off ideas, and that will help take us far.
I know that I always saw you work out before games with JR. What's the relationship with him, and how has he helped you grow your game?
Yeah, I always worked out with JR before games. I think it was 2 hours before, just ball handling and getting shots up and stuff like that. But he's sort of the guard position coach. So I leaned on him a lot for advice, and we would watch film after every game, and just learned a lot from him. Obviously, he played in college, so he knows what it's like. Um, so just developing my game with him, I know that he knows what he's talking about because he was in the place that I am. So just learning a lot about him, and just watching film was definitely the main point. Just I feel like I improved from game to game to game just from watching film with him, and him telling me, you got to slow down here, you got to make this read, or just little things that will help a lot in the game.
All right, couple fun ones here for you, real quick, and then we're done. What's your favorite music?
Favorite music, probably rap, but also R&B, like early 2000s.
Man, one of the funniest things I've ever heard on one of these podcasts last year, Jaron told me he can't listen to rap music in the mornings. Did he force anybody on the team to follow that rule? No rap in the mornings?
No, I didn't know that. He didn't mention that to me. So
Yeah, he said he
I
always
wonder
had to
what he's
listen
listening
to
to.
gospel music or something in the morning. I always thought that was funny.
I can see that. I
Yeah.
can see
After I
that.
got to know Jaron a little bit more, I was like, yeah, this makes sense. That fits this guy.
I think sometimes when he was working out, he would have some gospel music on. So yeah,
Nothing gets me hyped for a workout like gospel music. But hey, to each their own.
maybe. Maybe.
What's in your Netflix queue right now? What are you watching?
I'm watching The 100, and every time I don't have anything to watch, I go to NCIS just
Okay.
because they got a bunch of seasons, so I can just watch random episodes.
Who's your favorite basketball player?
Favorite basketball player used to be John Wall, so I'm making that adjustment now that he's sort of uh, fallen off. I'd probably say I like watching John Morant, but probably Jalen Brunson.
Okay.
I think I can learn a lot from his game.
Man, are they going to get it done in round 2?
I think so. I think they got it. It'll
Yeah.
be a good one, but they're
Yeah.
super competitive team. So
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Who's your favorite pro sports team? Doesn't have to be basketball, just anything.
um, I'll say it's weird just being in Iowa. You
I
know,
know.
you sort of have to pick one that's around you, and I never really did that. So I mean, my dad likes the Lions because he's from Detroit, so I'll go with them, even though they're not very good. But they played well this last season, so
Yeah,
improvement.
yeah, they're growing. All right, man. I appreciate you taking the time to join us, and we'll catch up with you again down the road. All right.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.